and as I wrap up a on-the-road edition, 1 week in New York, opportunity to continue to promote and expand the consciousness of human animals through the contribution of those who are creating music on the bandstand and helping people heal. I got a chance today to speak to somebody who, again, came on my radar very cosmically, but obviously she is, in her own way, searching for her own individual sound on the bandstand, and also, I think, has aspirations to become a leader in the music community wherever she dwells in the world. Ana Patan, welcome to the Jake Feinberg Show.
Wonderful to be here. Thanks for inviting me, Jake.
No, it's my honor. I wanted you to talk about, if you can, where you feel like you need to grow the most as a person or a player. Like, I talk to myself all the time about, pushing myself out of my comfort zone. And, I've started to selectively promote shows here and there. So I am walking the walk. And I just wanted you to talk about where you feel like you need to grow the most in your life.
Everywhere. I do not have parts of me where I feel that it has been done. Everything has been reached that I needed to achieve. So for me, it's just like I feel like I'm just starting in everything I'm doing. I feel like a kid that is just discovering, and one is being told this and that, and you should be like that, and you should do like that. And I am not sure about any of that, and I have to try it for myself. So that is what I'm doing. I'm experimenting. And some of the stuff, it's dead end, and so, okay, that's not how I will grow and develop. And some other experiments, endeavors that you do really get you very excited and show you things about yourself and about the world that you could not have intuited from anything you would have read or somebody would have told you. And once you get into it, it's like, wow, so that is how life feels like. Oh, that is what music is like. And you just discover amazing things which make you very excited and want you make you go on. And that is what music is for me. That is what life is for me. That is, just cooking food every day. That is what it is for me, and hanging with my cats and all that. So everything is connected, and music comes out of what you do in life.
Can you personalize it and give an example in your own career?
Well, I don't know about career. I don't know what that means.
Well, no, what I'm saying is you're speaking in very it's very inspirational talk. But I'm curious about a specific example that can relate.
Look, for example, I came up with this song this last week's, which is not really a song. It's a piece of music. It goes into classical music and into film music, and it sounds a bit like Debussy, and it sounds a bit like whatever it is, like a prog band, and I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot.
That's all right. You don't have to label it. Yeah.
But I heard it in this state of semi-awakeness when you wake up in the morning and you're not quite awake. And that is when it kind of, you are still in touch with your subconscious or whatever that is not bound by the reality's limitations. So I heard this this music, all the rhythms, all the melodies, which are very, very crooked and weird. They like chromatic sort of harmonic minor, very, very weird. And I thought, no way are these voices gonna come together and fit in with each other as I hear them in my head. But I went and I played them, and they did fit. And I spent a few days just working on that piece, and it was so exciting, and I never knew myself being able to do such things. But that is the surprise, and I was just fully into it and not letting myself get in the way. Because but that is not how I do things. No, I just went with it, and whatever came out with, and I don't let myself be stopped by the fact that I cannot put it on an album. I cannot market it. Who will listen to this? I don't care. I don't know. It's that is not why I'm doing music. It's you have different heads. You have the head of an artist. You have the head of a music critic. You have the head of a mixing engineer, the head of the audience, and different heads. And if you start changing them and looking at your music with the head of a music critic or a promoter or whatever, then you will stop yourself in the tracks. You just have to be an artist. And when you stop being an artist, then you will see what comes next. But you have to just go with it and be very curious and very open and not stop at anything you think is expected of you.
Right. You're in it to if you dig what you're doing, then you don't worry about anybody else's opinion or what people will think. I mean, I guess my simple question is why are you doing music?
Yeah, that's my question also. I don't know.
So let me ask you: instead of how do you talk to the audience about how you keep an open mind as opposed to getting discouraged because the answers are unknowable and probably will never be completely known?
Yeah, I keep on doing music and I also get discouraged. It's all there. I don't have things that I tell myself. It's just I have to do this. I have to make music since I know myself. I needed to make music. I didn't know why. It just comes out of me, and it really gets in the way. It's not very practical. It has messed up my life many times, and I had to sacrifice so much, and I don't know why. I don't know why I'm doing it, but it just keeps on dragging me back and giving me all these nice rewards that make me feel one with myself. And I guess that is why I'm doing it. And otherwise, it's not a good thing. It's not a calming thing. It's not a rewarding thing, practically, economically.
Anna, it's
or even as a respectability in this society. But that's what it is. So yeah.
No, to talk about the calling of music. That's what I want you to talk about. That feeling.
I have always felt it since I was a kid, and I did not know what is right, what is correct, what one is supposed to do in life. But I just came up with these songs, and they were wonderful. And I did not know where they come from. They all have visited me all together, lyrics and melodies and chords, if I knew any. And it was easy. It was so easy, and it was so fun and calming. And I did not somehow dare to imagine that this would be my life, this would be my livelihood, this would be my job. Because in a way, I knew one cannot do this seriously as a job. But I did it anyway as a hobby because I had no choice. I had to do it. And it kept on dragging me towards it. So every time I did something or I played something, people resonated with it and called me again. And that I was on the stage all the time. And I won at some point a competition in Romania. And then I was in the press and on the TV, and people were talking about me, and I got to meet my music idols and talk to them and ask them, what is your experience of making music? And my eyes were shining just being in that environment and getting to know firsthand these people who have been dedicating their lives to music. So that was for me like a dream come true already. And that has always been the reward for me, to just be immersed in music in any way, in all ways. And that is where it came from. That is how it continued. It continues like that. I don't see it like a career. It's not like something happens for you and you get to some place and then you get recognized or you get famous or you get rich or anything. It's not any of that. It's like you do your music and you have your experiences, you serve it, it gives you back everything that you give it or her or whatever you want to call music. And it's a relationship with something that you don't know where it comes from, but it has been given to you. It's a gift and you cannot throw it away. So you just have to go on serving it. And I hope when I'm 80, I will talk exactly the same way about making music.
Yeah, you will. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I mean, how many different projects do you have going on right now?
Just one.
What project is it?
It is my own music. These songs that I hear, I have put out an album recently on which I have worked for 10 years because I wanted to learn how to express all these ideas that I had. I had to meet the right musicians who would understand how to participate in the project and not change it to their own understanding, but try to fit in and understand it and serve it just like I do. It's a very curious thing because only very sensitive and experienced musicians understand how to serve something without turning it into their idea of it.
That's a really interesting point. Yeah, no, and there's people get worked up about that. It's at the end of the day, it's a gig, and But I mean, you want it to be a certain way? I mean, sometimes I feel like cats I've talked to who are producing their own music or whatever, if they hire somebody, they're bringing the person in to do what they do. And unless they're like having a direct impact on the song itself, but there's the other school that says they're a hired gun. They come in and they need to lay down what is asked of them.
It's a bit of both. I don't see it as people having to perform something that I'm asking of them. They do have an idea written down that they can follow or not. If they have something different, they are free to come up with it. And the only thing that I expect of them, I don't ask of them, but I expect of them, is to just listen and understand where is this song, where does it want to go? Because songs have a life of themselves. They live. They have a skeleton, they have, and you dress it up and you put some flesh and bones on it, and then you put a dress and makeup. That's how I see it. And if you are trying to make it into an elephant, it will not work. If you try to make it into a rose, it will not work. You have to see, what is this? What is this thing that has its life? What sort of creature is it? What does it want to turn into? Because that's what I do with the songs also. I'm not forcing them. And I let them take their time. They can develop over years into something else, for example. One starts as a blues and turns into something else that is not blues anymore. But, I don't know how to explain it. It's a bit...
I mean, how do you, I mean, are you, from where you're at, you live in Sweden? Or Berlin?
I live in Sweden now. My country of choice, my citizenship of choice is German.
Interesting.
I was born in Romania, and
wow.
I left Romania when in my early 20s to study music in Germany, where I basically ended up staying because I really liked the attitude towards arts, towards music. People are very supportive of creativity, and it was good. It was a good environment for me. And at the same time, I've been traveling through the world and seeing how other people live. What do they eat? How do they look at the sun? How do they talk when they are annoyed? And all sorts of stuff that makes the stuff that you put in songs.
This is fun. Wait, I'm sorry. Are you traveling playing music, or are you just adventuring?
Yes, also. Yes, mostly playing music. And I've had the chance to meet a lot of amazing musicians. And I think that is much better than any school and any books of music that you would read. Because just to hang with musicians and see where their mind is, what is their attitude when they play music, when they eat food or whatever. Because, in India, when you study music, you have a master and you live with it. You live with him for a few years. And you sit with him at the table and you wash his socks and you live with him in the house and you just spend night and day with him and see how he moves, how he breathes, how he makes music, how he explains to you all sorts of things about life. And out of that comes your music, your experience of feeling music, of understanding music, of playing music. And then you understand what your master is teaching you. So for me, learning, that is why it took me 10 years to make this album, because I wanted to learn the life behind making an album. I wanted to be the human being that is evolved enough to express those ideas musically. And I had to, of course, learn my guitar parts and learn about what sorts of instruments am I hearing, how do you produce this sound, how do you record the sounds, what sort of amp do I have, what sort of strings, how do I get along with the musicians, and a lot of aspects which took a long time to come together. And at the end, the making of the album was a byproduct of what I have learned along the way, which will take me on to making more music.
Ana, who were your parents?
My parents are still, fortunately.
Good.
They are just normal people, middle class.
No, but they were Swedish, or like where are they from?
They are Romanians.
They're Romanian. This is my college roommate was Romanian. That's insane. Wait, hold on. So, how would you describe your ability, your spiritual inclination, or like through music, is your connection to source or higher power, or do you have a spiritual inclination? Like, I'm a Taoist, or maybe are you a Hindu? Like, what has been your spiritual compass, if anything?
In the sense of religion, or
religion is more like monotheistic. I mean, to me, like, are you consider yourself a spiritual being? And if so, like, can you talk about an early connection to source for you, whether it was in nature or whether it was on the bandstand, but that level of consciousness went to a place beyond the level of coincidence?
I never considered myself a spiritual person, but at the same time, as I'm telling you all this about the music, feeling the calling and following.
I mean, I feel your spirit, Ana. That's the thing. I feel your spirit.
Yeah, exactly. That is a spiritual thing. Getting this sort of ideas out of where.
Right.
I don't know. So, but I'm not questioning this. And indeed, nature is a powerful force, if not the most powerful force. That is what we come from. That is where we go back to.
That's right.
So
that's right.
And as a kid, I loved to play in the dirt. I loved to hug and kiss animals to the desperation of my mother. And I was just, I felt very connected to everything. I knew the plants by name, by smell. And I loved to be in the sun. I loved to be in the rain. I was going about barefoot with tangled hair and looking like a little gypsy kid. And
I love it.
That is when I felt at my most at my happiest, and I still do when we live here in the middle of the forest, and I see deers visiting us every second day or so, and I look at insects, and you see the trees going green in the spring, and then the green turning darker green. It is so beautiful and so inspiring, and they are not saying a word. They just do it, and you just see it, and you feel it like a wonderful example in you. And it's a very powerful and silent way of the nature of teaching you things. And I think most people do not take the time off and the silence inside to just watch this, because I think if people really saw the greatness of a big tree next to them, just go to the park and look at this tree, how it holds its leaves up and how heavy they are, but it's standing tall and holding its leaves in the wind. And then all of a sudden you feel so small but happy and in awe of these creatures around you, and you cannot be depressed anymore. You cannot feel, oh, I don't have enough. I am not enough. I do not do enough. No, it's just that I'm here. I exist. It's nice. It's beautiful. I enjoy this. And that is what it's all about, and that is what we learn from nature. And I think this is, if I have a spirituality, that's it. It is, are you alive? Are you present? Are you enjoying it?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. I mean, you're spot. How do you have meditation practice?
Yes, I do. Every day when I wake up and before I go to sleep, I take time to breathe, to be inside of my body, to be with me, to feel what do I feel, what do I think, to watch myself, to be present in my environment, to see what's going on around me, to feel gratefulness for everything that is, because there is no other feeling that one can feel when one realizes that you are just a small, tiny grain of sand in this big universe, and you had the humongous luck to be born for a few minutes, hours, years, whatever.
Right. Feels like very quick.
But it's just, when you realize this, it's just pure gratefulness. And out of this comes beauty, and you just give it around. That is, I think...
That's right.
For me, that is why people become artists, because you feel this and you want to give it back. And I think everybody is an artist.
But you are somebody that you are operating on a very high frequency. I just wonder about if you can talk about the cosmic part of your life, or if there was a moment on the bandstand that where you reached, samadhi, where the synapses in your brain couldn't keep up with the cosmic ethos out there, and at the end of the day, like, I think that you have a lot to bring to the table, and I just wonder how you learn to modulate that and also get healing from that.
That's a very interesting and complex question. I don't think I've ever thought about it.
Yeah, that's a very honest answer. No, because most cats are not analyzing it like that, you know? That's where my brain is going. But to me, you know, do you consider that you do music as a full-time profession where you live? Is it considered a viable profession?
I don't know if it's a viable profession, but it is. I give it my full life. Right. I do not do anything else. Right. And somehow one manages to survive if one really stops worrying about anything else. When you stop worrying about making money, about being seen and recognized, right. and stop promoting yourself, stop convincing others how great you are. You just stop, and just find inside yourself for the reason why you started in the first place. What makes you feel fulfilled, and follow that. Only that, and nothing. Anything that contradicts that is going to hurt you. It's going to take away from your time, from your life, from your energy, and it will take you to a wrong place where you do not want to be. And that is what I do. I just do music, and I do not worry about anything else.
What was cosmic about our connection is that I found you through my fifth interview with Michael Shreve.
Yes, Michael Shreve.
And
yes.
How did you meet Michael?
Well, he's an old friend of Jonas. Jonas is my life partner, Jonas Hellborg.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Well, you are finding something new.
Wow, this is so cool.
And actually, talking about spirituality, most of my peace of mind and connection to reality comes from my teacher, Jonas Hellborg, who is from this point of view, a very spiritual person. He has taught me to meditate. He has taught me to disconnect from everything else and just follow music full tilt, because I see his example, and that's how I get the courage to do it myself.
Can you talk about an inspiring moment with him that kept pushing you forward, like something that he did that was? I just think inspiration is the only thing that matters in this time. Spirit is the only thing that you can't kill that.
Yeah, it is mind over matter. I mean, maybe not mind over matter, but it is your attitude, your thoughts, how you approach something, your trust, your openness. That's what it is. And there were many key moments in my learning from Jonas, but I will give you two. One that affected me as a human, that helped me get more together. I've always been a bit scatterbrained, and
we all are. We all are, though. We all are. Don't worry about that.
I tend to stumble and hurt myself ever since I've been a kid, and at some point I sort of stumbled down the stairs. I rolled down the stairs and hurt myself, and Jonas came and picked me up and asked me, why do you think you keep doing this? Maybe you are not taking enough care of yourself. Imagine that you treat yourself as you would treat me, he told me. Because I always treated him nicely, like something beautiful, fragile. It was, And I realized that exactly the same sort of love and care that I give him, I should give myself as well. And he even guided me through.
Yeah, no, what he guided you through was learning. He guided you to learning to love yourself.
Yes, exactly.
That's beautiful.
And also by him loving me, he has taught me to love myself and I realized that I did not know how to do it. And I think that is a problem for many people, which they don't even realize. But once you start observing it and start practicing it, then you kind of get yourself more together and calmer and happier. That was one that helped me on the human level.
No, it's cool. No, I mean, you know what it is, like you, so do you play music with Jonas, or do you have your own projects?
We have separate projects, and I would like to tell you one thing that I've learned from him.
Please.
Musically, which
Please.
helped me musically. It's also a human thing, but it helped me musically when he told me that I should stop listening to music for a while.
I hear that. I understand.
A very surprising proposition. And I asked, why? He said, because we have this tendency of being overwhelmed by everything we hear around us, and we want to do that, and we want to follow that, and we think that is cool, and that is what we have to live up to. And you have already listened to all the music that you needed to listen to. You have been growing up surrounded by music. You have in you all the sounds from many cultures. You have basically soaked it in. And now let it just sink in, and let your voice, your inner voice, whatever you hear in your head, in your soul, let it come out. Turn it up a bit. And only in silence you can hear that. And do not listen to others. Do not listen to other songs, to other sounds. Just find out what you want to say.
Right, that's exactly right. No.
Like.
So can you talk about, like, did you see live Jonas and Michael play music together?
Unfortunately not, but I have seen them in many conversations, and it's so wonderful to just be a witness to that and just see the spheres that they are in and how they communicate on such a beautiful level. And each one of them is such an accomplished musician. And I just love to be around and see their iridescences, their shine.
Yeah, they're great. The grace. The grace.
Yes, exactly. And Jonas is a very, very giving, very calm, very gracious person. And so is Michael also. He is so generous and so supportive. And I think that these are traits of great people and great musicians.
Absolutely.
And it's such a blessing to just be around them, to just be allowed to be in their sphere of functioning and just look at them and hear them talking and just see them smiling. And you learn so much. You just soak it in and you feel rich. So, yes.
Do you feel that I mean, on a global level, I mean, I think, do you believe that music can heal humanity?
I don't think anything can heal humanity. I think humanity is beyond healing. Has always been, will always be. I don't think we ever learn. I think we are pretty hopeless. But that being said, I also see the beauty of people. And if anything helps, I think that is music and any form of art. And to me personally, that is what makes me happy. That is what gives life meaning. Like you sit down and listen to a symphony by Beethoven. You hear 100 people playing together like one. And you listen to that music that came out of this amazing brain and soul and this beautiful interpretation. And it just makes you cry with beauty and happiness. And you think that is enough. That is worth it for being alive. That's enough. It cannot get better than this. And you're just fully happy. And that is what music does to people. I'm sure that every person has these moments when they can disconnect and feel happy listening to music or watching a beautiful painting or whatever sort of art touches you. But that is making us human and elevated and happy.
Ana Patan, you went to some very cosmic places with me today, and I'm so indebted to you for recognizing that the spiritual healing that is provided by the musicians, and you yourself are a spiritual healer. So I look forward to seeing your travail, as you continue on your creative journey. It's just been an honor to talk to you. You've actually really raised my vibration a lot. And I'm very honored.
I'm so glad that we have done this together and you have guided it very nicely. So thank you.
And bless you, my friend. We talk soon, okay?
You too. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.